Welcome back, ACF members. Shannon again here for part 2 of our video series on how to use the Zoom video conferencing platform. In part 1, we created an account and I showed you how to participate in meetings via your browser. Here in part 2, we'll download the Zoom client, otherwise known as the Zoom app, and I'll show you how to schedule a meeting using that app. So let's start by downloading the app. We'll navigate again to zoom.us, the Zoom website, and then click Resources. Under Resources, you'll click on the first item, which is to download the Zoom client. Here in the Download Center, you'll want to click on the first option, which is the Zoom client for meetings. Here you see that it indicates that the browser client will download automatically when you start or when you join your first Zoom meeting. And you'll recall from part 1 that it did attempt to do this, and we told it not to, simply so that I could show you how you could join from your browser in the instance that you were not able to download the Zoom client. However, I do encourage you to download the Zoom client or Zoom app if you are going to participate on multiple Zoom meetings, and especially if you're going to be hosting any meetings. Once again, I'm going to maximize my screen so that you can better see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to click to download the Zoom client, and you'll see that the installer starts to download, and I'm simply going to click to install. The amount of time that it will take to install depends on a number of factors, including your device speed and your internet speed, etc. However, it usually only takes a few seconds. And once it installs, it will pop up, and you'll see that we are now operating in an app outside of our browser. So from here, we'll want to sign in, and we'll use the credentials that we created in part 1. In this case, I'm going to click the button to keep me signed in. If you know that you're going to be participating in a number of calls, this just takes one step out of the process for you. So I'm going to click to sign in. And this will open to the Zoom app homepage. And you see here, it's a relatively simple interface. And you can tell that we're logged in because our initials appear here at the top. You'll recall that our name was ACF Foresters. I'm going to show you here that once we close out, all you'll have to do is navigate to Zoom on your computer and click to open. Because we told it to remember us and recall that we were signed in, it automatically opened and we are still signed in. So from here, you can start a meeting. If you wish to do so, all you click is the New Meeting button. And you'll see it asks us whether we want to join with computer audio. And you can click to automatically join by computer audio if you know that that's what you'll be doing. And you can see that we've joined by video because our video appears on the screen. If you started a meeting like this and then wanted to invite participants, you would click Manage Participants. From there, you could click Invite and copy the meeting invitation. At that point, you would insert it in an email. You can also email from here, but generally you would be sending additional information about your meeting that you may want to use your own email client for. However, you generally would be scheduling a meeting ahead of time rather than starting one like this. This you may use for one-on-ones or very impromptu meetings. But for now, we're going to close out of this meeting and I'm going to show you how to schedule a meeting. So I'm just going to click End. So back here on the home page, I'm going to show you how you can schedule a meeting simply by clicking the schedule button here. You'll see that it pre-populates a great deal of information for you. You can name the meeting whatever you'd like and then choose your start time. I'm going to leave it with 4 o'clock today as it automatically has filled in for us. With Zoom's free account, you are able to meet for as long as you want with one other person. If you have 3 or more people on a video call, you are limited to 40 minutes, and you'll see that information pops up if you do attempt to change the duration of your meeting beyond that 40-minute time limit. For now, for simplicity, we'll leave it at 30 minutes. It can generate an automatic meeting ID, which is fine. You can require a meeting password if you like, and you are able to change that. You can choose whether you, as the host, will have your video on or off during the call, as well as whether your participants will have their video on or off. You can also choose how your participants can join with audio. I recommend giving them the option of telephone and computer audio in case you have someone who does not have a webcam or is having issues with their computer audio. It will give them that opportunity to join via telephone if they have to. And then if you would like the calendar item to appear automatically, you can select one of the options here. I use Outlook, so we'll go ahead and leave it on Outlook. Under the advanced options, you can see that we can enable or disable the waiting room. The waiting room is simply a place virtually that your attendees will be held until you admit them to the meeting. You can also enable Join Before Host, which will allow participants to join before you arrive. You can mute participants on entry by default, or you can automatically record your meeting. The only setting I'm going to leave is enabling the waiting room. So I'm going to click to schedule my meeting. And once you've scheduled, if you've determined that you need to make a change, simply click this icon here, click Edit, and you can adjust. Let's say we want to do this at 5 o'clock instead. We'll save, and the information updates here. This will always show your scheduled Zoom meetings. In order to invite others to participate on your Zoom meetings, you'll simply click this button again and click to copy the meeting invitation. Once you've copied the meeting invitation, you would simply navigate to your email client and you can paste the invitation there. You'll see that it provides a link for your participants to join, as well as a meeting ID and password. Creating the invitation in this way, copying it into an email, of course allows you to use your own email client and whatever contacts you already have set up, and allows you to add additional information like an agenda or other items to the email. Then you'll simply send this to your participants and they'll click to join. And in part 3, you'll see how a participant joins and how you admit them and then host your meeting. We hope to see you over in part 3, and I look forward to continuing to share these tips for using Zoom. Thanks for watching this far.